Hello friends, I narrated you an old German tale couple of days back in which I spoke about a story of an old German tale about blue ink and red ink, and that took no more time in becoming true. So without any further delay, let me come to the topic. The intellectual and journalistic bigotry and hypocrisy that unfolded in the recent cross border conflict between India and Pakistan from both the sides of the border, both the media industries, journalists from both the sides, intellectuals from both the sides. The individuals who were supposed to lead with logic or a reason were involved in the war of narratives. Basically, in the shadows of armed conflicts, it was a war. One fought not with the guns, but with the words. A war of narratives, a war of agendas, a war of ideologies, where no one was ready to take the opposing viewpoints. Not because they were wrong or something else, just because they are coming from the other side. That was the tragedy that unfolded in the recent times. And let me start with the Indian media first. And before starting all this, I hope by the time I'm recording this video, Indian media have returned the captured areas of Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi and Peshawar to Pakistan. And in the similar manner, Pakistani media and their so-called hackers have restored the Indian electricity that they claimed on their channels. Like literally, what you guys were doing, what you guys are catering to your future generations, the students of journalism who are pursuing and who are looking ahead to make their future in the journalism. The loud studios, shouting anchors, nothing like a discussion. Debate was nowhere. What existed was only a warmongering. So let me start to explain you with the three kinds of species that happen to occur in this wartime or cross-border conflict between two nuclear foes. What were these species, especially in India, in our own country? First were those ones who were demanding the justice after the Pahalgam incident, the terror attack that killed 26 innocent Indian civilians, and we all were demanding justice for that. But before I come to a conclusion or saying anything or making any analysis, let me dissect these three species to you. Well, who are these three species? First, who were demanding justice, demanding a strong retaliation from India to the terror attack. And when India responded, they were like, de-escalate. What is this? What were you guys doing then? So basically, these were the guys who changed their minds, who changed their opinions according to the moods of social media. What social media is demanding, what their fan base is demanding. Because asking for peace is not a weakness. But let us come to the second species in the same scenario. Those who were demanding the war from day one. And these are the species that happen to be the supporters of the party or the ideology that is in power in India. These guys were demanding a full-fledged war with Pakistan, erase Pakistan from the map and whatnot. Everything like that happened. Social media feeds were flooded with the posts, be it against Pakistan or anyone, or be it against the Muslims or whatever. Because the narrative Pakistan wanted to create or terrorists wanted to create was an internal rift that they wanted to create within India. And they were somewhere successful. When the violence was incited within the Indian territory, the terrorists asked for a religion. And a party started working on that, just to capitalizing on that. But when army initiated Operation Sindoor, things were changed. The nation united. Political oppositions came to support the government and the army and the decisions that were taken by the government. But what happened next? A ceasefire was announced. Unfortunately, not from Delhi, it was from Washington. And those very guys who were demanding the full-fledged war started being the peace advocates. Because they had nothing to do with the war or peace. They were just towing an ideology of the guy they adore, they admire, who is in power. The party, the ideology that is squashing the rights, activism rights, journalistic rights, suppressing the free voices. We talk about national security, it's okay. We should talk about national security. But what about the security of the journalists? What about the security of those who are raising their voices? What about the freedom of speech in our own democracy? What about the silenced voices? Who will talk about this? So basically, these guys started being the peace advocates. These guys have no stand. And these guys doesn't care somebody is national proud or somebody has brought something to nation. They abused Neeraj Chopra, the Olympian gold medalist, and one of the leaders of that very party, that very ruling party, one of the leaders of that party used the hated and indignified words for Colonel Sophia Qureshi. What is this? These guys abused Vikram Misri, Foreign Secretary. Was it the Vikram Misri who took the decision of ceasefire? And let's come back to the media or anchors. So guys, this is a clear-cut message to you. Never visit any college in future, especially the journalism colleges. Because I don't know with what audacity you will teach the students to do a free journalism, do a pure journalism. Just keep it to yourself only. Because you should know that what you are catering to the generations. You are catering the hate to the generations. You are catering the warmongering to the generations. So basically, when politicians go corrupt, when your bureaucracy go corrupt, people accept. People says that it happens. But when your intellectual class and when your aristocracy goes corrupt, it is unacceptable. Because those who are the owners of carrying the society with their ideas, with the reason, with the logic, are just towing an ideology, are just inciting the hateful speeches, are just inciting the hate in the minds of the youngsters. And that's what we all are witnessing in the dream of being a Vishwaguru. Will there be any concept of Vishwaguru with these kind of efforts? And we get no justifications, we get no statements, we get nothing from those who are responsible. There is nothing on the name of accountability. And what is there? Let's celebrate it. Let's celebrate. Acknowledge, then celebrate. We acknowledge the power of our army. We acknowledge the power of the bravery of our army. We acknowledge our army. But we condemn what you all are doing on that name. You all are politicizing that. So now, some last few questions to the neighbors, Pakistan, who claimed their victory, who are celebrating their victory. I guess it is the time for you guys to look back in your den, to check how much you have fooled your generations, how much you have fooled your youngsters. Because you guys have 3 power centers. You don't even have a single power center. Army, ISI, an elected government that is nominally elected. That has nothing to do with the foreign policies of the country and other policies of the country, because these are being dictated by your army chiefs, generals. Be it Asim Munir, be it Qamar Javed Bajwa, Rahil Sharif, Kiani, Musharraf, and what not. There are a lot of examples. So Pakistan need to address this, whether they want to go hand in hand with terrorism or are they really a victim of terrorism. Because with your acts, you don't seem to be a victim of terrorism. You seem to be a shelter for the terrorists. And that you are with your acts, because your army attending the funerals of a terrorist suggests big questions on your integrity, on your how do you get the right of talking about the chaos in Kashmir alongside having the cries in Quetta? This is bigotry. This is what we call hypocrisy. So please look back in your den and then come back again, because the mediators don't have the knowledge. You guys know that how much India is greater or bigger than you in a lot of terms. Mediators don't know this. Mediators say that the battle is from 1,000 or 1,500 years old. Mediators have no knowledge about this region, but you guys have. So please educate your children. And concluding my discussion with the final remarks on Indian media or Indian intellectuals. And this is the third time I'm discussing those guys in this video. And that is very important. That's why I'm discussing those third time. So please have some sanity in your discussions. Bring some rationale in your debates. That's least one can expect from you. Stop toying in the ideologies. Stop catering the hate, warmongering, because that's what all you are doing. That's it from this video. And I will try to bring all such things or my stance. So my stance is clear in the end, that I just want a simple discussion and want the Indian discourse to be shifted to the rational discussions from this filthy tags of bucks or chamchas or whatever is happening in the discourse. Because this is not our discourse. We need some healthy discussions. We need some healthy debates with the facts, figures and history. Because blaming Nehru is not going to work anymore. Thank you.